Hello everyone, Panda here, and welcome to, I don't know, like a little vlog type thing. Just some random footage in the background and just gonna chat for a little bit. Just want to talk a little bit about some things that, I don't know, I don't really want to talk about, but I think it's probably a good idea to talk about. Some of you will know, I've mentioned it, I would say a decent handful of times in the past, but it's not something that I try to rant on about too ridiculously often. But I have, well, about a year and a half ago, I think, yeah, about a year and a half ago, I went to the doctors, and basically my friends and my girlfriend, they'd been joking around saying, "Oh, Panda, you've got ADHD," and I was like, "Ha, that's funny, that's funny, that's funny." And then one night I sat there and I actually went through and looked at the symptoms of ADHD and things that it can do and possible ways that it can affect your life, and it kind of was like a huge eye-opening explosion to me. It was kind of, I don't know, it kind of absolutely blew my mind. Like every single thing hit the button, hit the mark. A lot of things made sense, and I was like, well, maybe that is a thing. And after this one night, I basically started looking at stuff on my phone at like 2 a.m. and just 8 o'clock in the morning, still sitting there reading stuff like, oh my god. But next day I was like, okay, well, you know what? I am actually pretty convinced of this. I will book an appointment. So I booked an appointment at a doctor's, a psychiatrist, and went and saw them. And they gave me the bars test, which is a big test that you go through and answer a bunch of questions. There's no actual like brain scans or blood tests or anything that you can do. So I went through there and went through all of that and yep, got the positive diagnosis and got given some medication for it. And it kind of was a massive life-changing event for me because now knowing that I do have ADHD and I can now look back on everything that's happened in the previous bits of my life, things that didn't make sense to me or stuff that happened, relationships falling apart, stuff like this that before I just said, hey, that's just me. And then now I was like, oh shit, okay, so I can attribute that. And I realized that I'm in the wrong for a lot of stuff that I've done in the past and ways that, not necessarily ways that I've treated people, but just not keeping up with people and struggles with a lot of stuff and confusion about a lot of stuff in life that I was like, well, I don't really understand how this is a thing or how people can do these things and I can't do these things. Anyway, it was a big thing, and honestly, being medicated on a medication called lisdexamfetamine, if you're not aware, ADHD, the medication that they give you for that, which a lot of people do abuse, but it has a very different effect if you do actually have ADHD. Instead of, say, because they are amphetamines, they are stimulants, people take these recreationally and they get high off them and they love it and they're having a great time, blah, 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 blah. But if you actually have ADHD and you're taking these medications, it works in a different way where it actually just works on bits of your mind and gets them to work the way or similarly to how they should work rather than just being all over the place. And I think that's where a lot of people, that's why I didn't really want to talk about this, because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't think that ADHD is even a real thing to start off with. But then, there's people out there who don't believe a lot of stuff is real, like depression, any sort of mental health. Fair enough. But, I don't really want to put myself in the firing line for everyone going, oh, Panda, you're just making this shit up, or, oh, Panda, you're just trying to abuse the system to get drugs to take and stuff like that. That's not the case at all. Like, I would much rather not be taking these medications at all because, the medications have got side effects and it's not ideal. This one that I was on, lisdexamfetamine, it absolutely changed my life. It suddenly woke me up and I was able to do all sorts of things and all of these horrible thoughts that I've been having that, I just kind of was waiting for something to just happen, for me to just die or something. I was just waiting for all this stuff to happen and suicidal thoughts like non-stop, not something that I was seriously considering, but something that just jumps into your head. It's called like an intrusive thought, just a thought that you can't control and it just pops itself to the front of your brain and just makes you think about it. Anyway, horrible stuff. Anyway, after starting to take this medication, it changed absolutely everything, and you can definitely see it from the growth of the channel, and I started putting out videos and putting in more effort and feeling capable of actually putting in more effort and stuff like this, and it was fantastic, and it's been going great, The YouTube channel is doing better than it's ever done in the 12 years since I made it, and the Twitch channel's been doing great, and everything's been going, pretty awesome. I do have a considerable side effect on the lisdexamfetamine, and that is that I can't sleep. I cannot sleep. Like, they're slow release, so you take it and it's meant to last for 12 hours, but more like 16 hours for me. So I'll get up, take it, and then by the time I go to bed, I'll just lie there in bed for hours and hours and hours. I was only getting like 3 to 4 hours sleep, I'd say for the last year or something, which is obviously it's not a good idea. You want to be getting at least, I would say, 6 hours of sleep a night, if you can possibly do it. Anyway, so everything was going good, and I was pretty happy about that. And then I was going to the doctors, and I was thinking, shit, you know what? I actually hate not being able to sleep. I would love to be able to go to bed and actually fall asleep. So I spoke to my doctors and got a different medicine prescribed, and this is about 7 weeks ago now, and I got prescribed Ritalin, which I'd heard some pretty bad things about, but I was willing to give it a shot because the idea that it's going to still help me and actually enable me to think and form concise thoughts and actually get stuff done, I was like, that's great, fine. So 7 or 8, I don't know, whatever. 8 weeks ago, let's just say, I started taking the new Ritalin tablets, and first couple of days, I was like, this is fine, I guess. So kept on taking them for the month. But over that time, I was feeling increasingly anxious. And anxiety, I feel, is another one of those things that if you've not experienced it yourself, you don't really know what people are talking about. Like, you will hear people talking about anxiety all the time. Social anxiety, all sorts of anxiety. But to me personally, anxiety is that feeling when you wake up in the morning, you've got to go to school, and then you remember, oh, damn, there's that gigantic exam today, and I've not prepared for it at all. And it's that sort of feeling, that sort of draining, sucking feeling in the very center of your torso, like in the center of your ribcage, just sucking everything inside you into it and just making you feel really, really shitty and panicky and stuff like that. And I've always had, not always, but for a long time, I've had issues with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. I never really could attribute it to anything in specific. It was just something that was there. But the Ritalin over the last month really started just ramping that up to the point where it was becoming absolutely intolerable. And, if I was going to stream, I would wake up and I would sit there for the entire day, for 6-7 hours, just sitting there, unable to do anything. Like, I'd be in my head, I'm like, I need to make a video, I need to edit, render, upload and stuff like that, but I just couldn't do it. All I would do is I would just sit there dripping with sweat, just panicking, just hyperventilating, basically just completely shitting my pants. And it sort of ramped up quite slowly, so it wasn't obvious to me that it was the Ritalin that was just exacerbating that issue and making it really, really undealable with. And if you go back and you look over the last 8 months, you're going to see that there's been, everything's slowed down. Like, videos are slowed down. I've been skipping streams and stuff like that, which is not something that I want to do at all. Like, ideally, for me on the channel, 2 videos a day is what I want. I want to be able to put out 1 video of something that I really enjoy, so something like Kingdom Come or We Happy Few or something, and then another video of something that maybe more people enjoy, because I know the audience here is massively into Dead by Daylight. So, the idea is to put out something that I enjoy, and then put out something that everyone enjoys, ideally. So that's my main plan. And when I'm doing that, and when I've got 2 videos a day going up and everything's working, it's a dream. I love it. I feel really proud of myself. I feel really good about everything. But then when I don't, and I'm not putting out 2 videos, or even not even putting out any videos, because I'm just sitting there freaking out all day, and it just feels impossible to actually achieve anything, those are the days where I feel really shitty. Anyway, well, this anxiety kept on ramping up and ramping up and ramping up, and I was honestly convinced that my heart was about to explode or something. My heart was about to die. I really, really was concerned. And last week, I went and had a extensive health assessment at we've got a series of hospitals here in the UK called Bupa. So it was like a private thing. I paid a lot of money. Went there, had proper tests, blood work, urinology, piss work. I don't know what urology, something like that. Loads of ECGs, loads of balance tests. I had to get on a bike and pedal with a breathing tube in my mouth, all of that stuff. Anyway, went through all of that, and I was certain on that day that I was going to come back and I was going to have to say, sorry, everyone, look, I'm probably just going to be quitting YouTube and stuff because my heart is dead and I've got 3 months to live. I was convinced of it. I was convinced that I could only be feeling this bad, this terrible, this sense of everything about to crumble around me was down to some sort of serious medical issue. And I was convinced of it. Anyway, I went there and came away from it, and they'd done all the tests and spoken to me about it, and everything was pretty much fine, apart from my hands having shitty grip strength, which is an indicator that I'm going to get arthritis earlier than other people would expect it. apart from that, everything was good. And I was like, what the fuck? This explains nothing. I don't understand. So I got back and then I spoke to my girlfriend and I said, maybe it's the Ritalin making me feel like this. And I don't know why I hadn't thought of it previously, honestly, but maybe that was it. Started looking into it, and yep, some people do say that, they go onto the Ritalin and the anxiety and stuff just comes absolutely out of nowhere and just crushes you. And also, the first month I was on Ritalin, I was on the lowest dosage. And then the second month, I was like, okay, well, I guess we can step this up now, because they usually put you on a base level and then ramp it up. So then 3 weeks ago, I got given double the dosage. And then once I started taking that, that's when shit started getting really, really, really bad and sort of unmanageable and just unhandleable. And that's when I booked the appointment and stuff. So started looking into that, saw that could be a thing, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to take this anymore. I'm going to stop taking this. And I still had a couple of my old medications left, my Listex amphetamine, and I had one of them on Sunday. This Sunday just passed, and holy shit, it was the biggest turnaround that I could physically imagine. Like, there was no barriers in my way. Like, usually I've got a lot of mental barriers with doing stuff. If I've got to make a video, then I'm always going to sit there and worry about it for hours beforehand. But nope, just did stuff, did a bunch of recording, mowed the lawn, like tidied up in my office and stuff that I've not done in like over a month. And it just felt great. And then on Monday, I had my second one, and I've only got one left now, but had the second one, made some videos, did my stream, had a just great time, loved it, everything just felt right. And I was like, shit. And then Tuesday, because I've only got one of my old pieces of medication left, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save that till later in the week so that I can, try and put on a good stream on Friday. So I took one of the Ritalins on Tuesday just to be like, let's see the difference here. And that was 2 days ago. And oh my God, it fucking ruined me. It absolutely ruined me. And I'd spent the entire day just a sweaty, panicky, hyperventilating mess. And I just couldn't do it. I had to cancel the stream. So the thing is now that I'm waiting till Monday because I've got another appointment with my doctor. Then hopefully go back onto the old medication and try and just get back to stuff. Sure enough, I'm aware that I'm not going to be able to sleep. Those 2 days that I took them earlier this week, I could not sleep. Like, I'd go to bed 3 o'clock in the morning and just lie there until 7 in the morning, just completely not at all tired whatsoever. And it was, I don't know. I think it's actually an okay payoff. Like, not being able to sleep versus actually feeling like myself and feeling capable that I can actually do things and confident and, happy and stuff like that. So I guess it's a good payoff. I've just got to try and somehow figure out a way to work around it. But that's just basically the deal. That's just basically what's been going on for the past month or something. And I just really am looking forward to going back to the doctor and just getting back to how it used to be and trying to see if I can manage them. I guess I'm just going to have to wake up really early, take one, go to bed, go to sleep again, and then wake up and then do the day, and then hopefully I'll be tired by nighttime. Anyway, I guess I'll probably start complaining soon that I'm tired and that I've only been getting shit all sleep, but now that I know the opposite side of it, now that I know the sort of parallel as if I was on a different medication, I'm like, oh, shit, okay, well, I'll happily take that. I'll happily have, a little bit less sleep to actually feel like I'm retaining my sanity and stuff like that. I do really worry about talking about ADHD and anxiety and depression and stuff like that, just because there is a lot of people out there who are eager to shit on that and eager to not disprove it, to say that it's not real. And then there's also people out there who are going to be watching this now, probably, if you've made it this far even, that are going to be saying, this guy's just doing it for attention, he's just trying to have a pity party. That's really not what I want to do at all. And that's why I've held off making any sort of video like this for a long time, because I don't really want to have people thinking that I'm just trying to gain sympathy and empathy and compassion and stuff like that. I'm not. I'm really not. At the end of the day, I just want to be able to make content for people, make people happy. If I can make some money during it, doing it, that would be fantastic. But keep in mind, I've been doing this since 2006, and until this year, I'd say about a year and a half ago, until then, I had never, ever made even above minimum wage for the year. I'd never made the amount of money that you need to make in a year to actually be taxed on it in the UK. So, I've been doing this for a long time. Way before when I started this, money was not even a thing that you could make on YouTube. It was not even a pipe dream. It was just somewhere you went to make videos because you enjoyed it. It was your hobby and you found it entertaining or you found it fun. And that was that. So I'm not, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to, I don't know. Anyway, I didn't take any of my medication today, so probably just blathered on for a freaking huge amount of time there. But I did want to make this and just talk a little bit. Whether anyone will believe me or not, or you'll think that I'm full of shit, that's absolutely up to you. There's a lot more stuff to ADHD than the name entails. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of things that being ADD or ADHD. ADD is attention deficit disorder, and ADHD is attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. And I definitely am on the second one there, on the hyperactive one. I find that my body is constantly moving. Like when I'm lying in bed, my legs are always gyrating, kicking, twitching. Like I always am moving, never ever sitting still. So it's definitely ADHD for me. But there's a lot of stuff that comes with that, with the way that your brain works, that is a lot deeper. And there's still stuff that I now don't know about and I'm reading up about every now and then. I'm like, oh shit, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. One of the things is something called imposter syndrome, which is, I'm just going to read off here. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And honestly, I feel like over the last year, like my YouTube channel's been doing great and it's, been kicking off and people have been enjoying. I've been getting loads of great messages from people saying, hey Panda, you're really helping me. I'm going through a shitty time. But even with all of that and the Twitch channel going great, there is a very tiny part of me that's happy and proud. And then there's a lot of me that just feels like I don't deserve any of it. And that I don't really know how to explain it. It is just imposter syndrome, I guess, down to a T. And there's so much more stuff that is involved with being ADD or being ADHD. And I think a lot of people, there's going to be at least, considering that, what is it? I think 13% of the population can be perceived as being ADD or ADHD. There's got to be at least one person here, maybe 2 people here, maybe 10 people, maybe 100 people, I don't know, who are listening to this and they're like, this sounds interesting. This sounds familiar maybe. And I do absolutely urge you to go and have a little bit of research, do a little bit of reading, do a little bit of investigation. I will leave in the description a couple of links. There is a link to the one video that actually fully rammed it home to me, which is, it's not a very serious video, but it's a little unofficial test to see if you have ADD or ADHD. And it is done in like a joking fashion and you're not needing to score yourself on it. But if you watch that video, I will link it down below in the description. But if you watch that video and all of it speaks to you and you're saying, holy shit, this guy knows me. How did this guy know me so well? Then it's quite possible that you do yourself have ADD or ADHD, and perhaps it could be a great move for you and for the future of your life to go and get that checked out. What's it really going to cost you to get it checked? Well, I don't know. If you're in America, it's probably going to cost you a shit ton. But in the UK here, where we've got free healthcare and stuff, you could go and see your, NHS GP and take the bars test, and it might change your life. It might make everything a lot more tolerable. Might make life better. It might not. But you know what? What have you got to lose? And another link that I'm going to link below is a channel on YouTube called How to ADHD. And honestly, this channel is great. This lady, she makes a shit ton of videos and they are really informative and they're really helpful. And if you are thinking that this could be you and that you might need a little bit of assistance with this, or maybe you need someone just to talk to you about it, just to figure out if you are going in the right direction with thinking like this, then definitely go and check her channel out, watch a couple of the top most viewed videos and see what you think, because it might absolutely change your life. If it doesn't though, and you've sat here and you've watched all this video and you're like, damn, I've just listened to this guy talk for ages, then well, thank you very much for watching to this point. I don't really know where to take this from this point. I feel like I've talked for ages. 20 minutes, in fact. But yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it there. But thank you for watching, and on Monday, I hopefully will be going to my doctor and get everything back on track, and hopefully the old panda will be happy and back and kicking ass, starting soon, and we can get back to stuff and get back to actually creating content and being a YouTuber and being a real person. I did also this in this video, although it's long now, but you know what, those of you who stuck to the end here, you're the people who really care about the channel. Things to do in the future, like things to do game-wise, I don't know. I'm stumped. I'm out of ideas, really. Like I need to just continue with Kingdom Come, finish that stuff off, Those of you who are watching those videos, I know we're on episode like 80 now. I do appreciate you still watching them. I will get to the end at some point, and I do love seeing people who are like, "Oh, Panda, I just found your channel and I just started watching your Kingdom Come." And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's going to take you weeks to finish that series." But I love the idea that people are doing that and watching it, and it's the same with old stuff. Like, I've got an XCOM series, I've got a few XCOM series that I did years ago, and every now and then someone will come and message me and be like, "Oh man, I just started watching your XCOM series and loving it." I love that. I love that feeling so much. And the idea that I can have my Kingdom Come videos there, which is literally, I think it's like 50 hours, like 40 hours, no, probably less than that. I'd say it's about 35, 40 hours of viewing. Like, I love the idea that someone could just stumble across the channel and start watching that and really enjoy it. I know that it's not doing great now, but that is the thing. But apart from that, videos, I don't know what to do. Call of Cthulhu, I wasn't feeling it too much. I wanted to test it out, see what everyone thought of it, but it didn't blow my mind at all. It might be something fun to play on stream, but on YouTube video content, I think it's not a good idea. Visage we finished. Conjuring House, I guess I could do, now that they've put all the new options in to change all the graphics, because at the start, it was just insane. Like, the motion blur was crazy. It made the video basically unwatchable on YouTube, in my opinion. So that sort of petered out. I sort of was like, I don't know about that. But games to do? I don't know. I've been playing a ton of Red Dead, but, you know, I'm not going to be making videos on that, because that is not the kind of game to make videos on, but Red Dead's been super, super fun. Escape from Tarkov just wiped, so I would love to make content on Tarkov, but Tarkov is a fucking hard game to make content on, because you can just not guarantee that anything good's going to happen. It's probably going to be a complete fucking mess, and shit's going to go absolutely crazy, you know? I did record a couple of hours of Tarkov a couple of months ago. I recorded, like, for a couple of hours. I was like, cool, you know, maybe I'll get a video out of this. 2 hours, 2.5 hours recording, and absolutely not one shred of interesting footage. I just deleted it all. I was like, shit, guess I'll just delete this crap then. So yeah, really just looking for some games to be able to play on the channel that actually you guys are going to want to watch and enjoy, and, you know, might get more than 3,000 views of you diehard people who will literally watch anything I put out. I could put out a video of me sitting on the toilet squeezing the turd out, and I'm sure that it would get at least 3,000 views, and that's you cool people. Dead by Daylight content, of course, will continue. I will do my best to keep that coming as regularly as possible, and Shrine Watch coming out every Wednesday. Love that. And the streams, you know, I just want to be able to stream and be happy with the streams, and not have the streams be like a case of just, I feel like my heart's going to explode inside my chest because I'm so anxious. But I'm not going to take any more Ritalin. Fuck that. You know, I'd rather just be fuzzy, stuck behind a fog wall Panda, rather than super anxious, thinking his heart's going to explode Panda. I don't really know anything else to say here, but I just want to say, you've been lovely. If you've listened to this point, then I'm actually seriously impressed, and give yourself a pat on the back. I will see you again tomorrow with a new DVD video, I guess. DVD videos I find really easy to record, so yeah. Have one of them tomorrow. Also streaming tomorrow on Twitch. I think tomorrow I'll take my last actual decent piece of medication, and probably have a pretty decent day, try and be productive, and all of those things. Anyway, thank you for hearing me out, and I will catch you next time. Yeah. Until then, Panda out.